Hi, I'm Dr. William Davis, author of the Wheat Belly and Undoctored books. Now, this video is entitled, Why Can't I Lose Weight? To help everybody who's having difficulty losing weight by cutting calories or by some other means. Now, I urge you to begin, though, with my books, the Wheat Belly Total Health book or the Undoctored book. Both those books, while they're different books, the basic starting program is the same. We eliminate all wheat and grains and cap net carb intake at no more than 15 grams net carbs per meal. We supplement vitamin D, magnesium, iodine, and thyroid optimization, fish oil, and we take efforts to address bowel flora. Put that all together, and it is spectacularly effective at losing weight because it helps restore insulin sensitivity, among other benefits. So the other strategies I'm going to talk about today will work far more effectively if you begin with the basic Wheat Belly Total Health or Undoctored programs. So start there if you haven't done so already. Now, these next strategies I'm going to talk about will work if you hit a weight loss plateau, say in one of my programs. So if you lost, say, 30 pounds and you're stuck and you still need to lose another 50, these are the factors to consider to break that weight loss plateau and achieve the weight loss you want to see. First strategy, do not limit fat. We cut out grains and sugars, right? Got to eat something, make it up with fat. I really mean that. If you buy a steak, buy a ribeye steak or other fatty cut, do not trim off the fat. Likewise, pork chop. If you have ground meat, always buy full fat, never lean. Use butter, coconut oil, olive oil liberally. Don't use the seed oils like cottonseed and soybean, those kinds of oils. We don't want those, not those vegetable oils. We want the truly healthy oils from meats, olive oil, coconut, etc. Now, this is not to say you have to be ketogenic. When you cut carbs and up the fat, you can be intermittently ketotic, but we're going to avoid all the health problems, long-term health problems that come from being chronically ketotic, okay? Being ketotic in the near term is fine. It's natural and physiologic. But the people on the ketogenic diet don't understand that long-term ketosis leads to all kinds of health problems like osteoporosis, kidney stones, heart issues, constipation, diverticular disease, and colon cancer risk. And that's because they failed to address the prebiotic fibers. That is in the basic programs. Once again, rely on the basic programs as outlined in my Wheat Belly Total Health and Undoctored books, and you will not develop the problems that the ketogenic people encounter over time. Number two, avoid gluten-free processed foods. So you can be gluten-free and have gluten-free water or an apple or an egg, but don't buy the gluten-free processed foods made with cornstarch, rice flour, tapioca starch, and potato flour. Those are horrible. They raise blood sugar sky high, higher than all other foods. They thereby generate insulin resistance, the exact opposite of what you want for successful weight loss. So no processed gluten-free foods. 3, consider a 4-week period of dairy elimination. It has nothing to do with calories or fat. It's the whey protein. About 20% of people are very sensitive to the whey protein, and it causes release of excessive insulin from your pancreas. High levels of insulin block weight loss. The only way to find out if this applies to you is to have a 4-week period of no dairy. And if you lose, let's say, 8 or 9 pounds, then that's a problem for you. You should stay dairy-free as long as you want to lose weight. If nothing happens, then it doesn't apply to you. 4, diet soda. Eliminate diet sodas sweetened with aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin, because those 3 synthetic sweeteners cause weight gain, they generate insulin resistance once again, they take you closer to diabetes. They're horrible, so do not consume those diet sodas. 5, many drugs, prescription and non-prescription, can block weight loss or even cause weight gain. For instance, the beta blocker drugs, metoprolol, carvedilol, etc., for heart rhythm disorders, for hypertension and other indications, can block weight loss, as can anti-inflammatory drugs, fibromyalgia drugs, and antihistamines. You'll find a more complete list in the Undoctored book, Wheat Belly Total Health book, as well as my Wheat Belly and Undoctored blogs. If you're on those drugs, work with your doctor, insist that he find an alternative for you that doesn't block weight loss. If he says, oh, that drug doesn't cause weight gain, find a new doctor, because he does not understand what he's doing if he doesn't know this, okay? 6, think about thyroid. There's so much thyroid dysfunction in the US now. between 20 and 35% of people have thyroid disease in some form for a variety of reasons. One is lack of iodine. Two, exposure to grains that initiate autoimmune destruction of your thyroid gland, like Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And three, industrial chemicals. We now swim in a sea of industrial chemicals that damage your thyroid gland. So have your thyroid assessed and get a smart doctor to do it. Don't settle for just a TSH or the doctor saying you don't need that. You want a TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies. This is all discussed in my books as well as my blogs. So you want the full panel so you have the full understanding of where your thyroid status stands. And then have it corrected if it's wrong. And when you correct thyroid, you take both the T3 and T4 thyroid hormone, not the T4 alone, like Synthroid or levothyroxine, because people who only take the T4 thyroid hormone almost always fail to lose weight. So you want a doctor who will prescribe the T3 and T4 in preparation such as Armour Thyroid or Nature Thyroid, or adding liothyronine to the levothyroxine, take T3 and T4. Lastly, metabolic rate. If you have lost weight in the past by cutting calories, pushing the plate away, all that stuff, you booby-trap your capacity to lose weight long term. If you cut calories, you can lose weight in the near term. You can lose, say, 20 or 30 pounds, but then you gain it back. And the reason for that is, when you cut calories, your body thinks you're starving. And so it reduces its metabolic rate, its energy burn, by around 500 calories per day. So it means that even if you continue the calorie restriction, even a serious calorie restriction, you will eventually regain all that weight because your metabolic rate has diminished. So the key to this is, one, never limit calories. But if you've done that, if you've lost weight by cutting calories, and especially if you yo-yo dieted, okay, you want to increase your metabolic rate. How do you do that? That's not the easiest thing. I gotta be honest with you. It's hard work. It's doing such things as high intensity interval training, where you exercise at a moderate pace and introduce high intensity hard work bursts, like on a stationary bike or an elliptical machine. Another technique is to use strength training. I detail this in my Wheat Belly blog and Undoctored blog, how to increase your metabolic rate, okay? And I'll have more conversations coming in future on how to do that. So those are the 7 factors that you can address in case you encounter a weight loss plateau. But I will tell you that these 7 factors, if you address them, are far more effective when you address them when done on the background of the Wheat Belly Total Health or the Undoctored basic programs.